I have a couple Disney.
I guess we could start with the original of streaming, which is Netflix. I would say we could start there.
I'll go last because I feel like mine are going to be different than anybody's, and I have a lot of them for each of them. So in case mine get taken,
I have a lot.
Go for it.
Awesome. Well, if you're going first and we're going to go like this, I guess if you're going last, I guess I'll start with myself. Yeah. So let's start with Netflix. Currently, shout out, honorable mention. I will say I just started watching Mad Men on Netflix, and I'm really enjoying it.
So good.
I tried watching it.
So good.
Don Draper is such a great character.
Animal, right?
He's such a great character. Animal. I was like, if I was living during that time, I want to be
Elizabeth Moss.
Don Draper.
Or Elizabeth Moss is great.
Say, yeah.
Yes, Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I knew she was on the show, and after watching Invisible Man and everything, she was in Us. She's so good on
January
the show.
Jones' best role ever. As Mrs.
Draper.
Elizabeth Moss.
Exactly.
Elizabeth Moss was on The West Wing when she was very young.
Really?
She was like 16 or something. She was daughter.
Wow.
Was she the president's
She was
daughter?
the president's daughter, yeah.
Oh my god.
But yes,
My new our age.
my new crush is January Jones. She is gorgeous.
Emma Frost.
Yes, she is Emma Frost in the.
Yeah.
She is a very attractive woman, but that wasn't my choice because I haven't finished it, so I don't know if I could recommend the whole series or not. I'm only on season 2. But for TV shows, I really recommend watching Lucifer. I've talked about it plenty of times before.
God, yeah.
If you're a comic book fan, superhero fan, or you just like a good show, I definitely recommend watching Lucifer. It's silly at times, but it's actually very deep and it's very sentimental, and you get attached to the characters. It's kind of addicting in that way. So I definitely recommend Lucifer for a TV series. It's on Netflix right now. There's Tom Ellis. He's a British actor.
He was in the crossover.
He was. He was on Earth 666.
He was the devil.
Oh, was he?
He
I don't
was,
even
yeah.
remember. Of course.
No, I've heard great things. I mean, Campia talks about Lucifer. He freaks out.
Oh,
over it.
yeah.
Like when it was announced for a 6th season, right?
Yeah.
He lost his mind.
He popped champagne on the show.
He lost his mind.
He was like, I don't even drink, but I'll pop champagne to this.
He was so excited.
What?
So at some point, I'm definitely going to watch it.
And season 5 hasn't even came out yet.
And now that it's Netflix, it like when it was, I think it was NBC before?
Something like that, yeah.
It gives it a different layer when it's on a streaming service because it's so much more freedom.
And they don't go too far. Like the difference between season 3 and 4 isn't that big of a difference, but it's enough to where I'll give you an idea. The very first episode of season 4, they show his bare ass. So
well, that's what I'm saying. Like when you
of
deal
course
with,
they do.
When you deal with the devil, like you kind of hope that it's almost an unrated in a way.
Yeah.
Like you want a certain.
And they do. The original show on TV was pretty brutal, and now they can go a little bit farther.
Commercial television's definitely kind of like ever since FX became a thing.
Yeah.
They're starting to kind of like push the boundaries more and more. FXX. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
So yeah, check that out. If you
I was just gonna say, it's one of those ones that got canceled, right? And then
they got brought back.
Picked it up,
Which a lot of things are, a lot of places are doing.
And then season 5 was going to be the last season, and they announced that they're doing a season 6. That Tom Ellis signed on for a season 6.
Little Dexter situation there.
Yes.
Yes.
And as far as movies, if you have not seen them, now is the time to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy. If you've never watched it. Because there's people who never watched it.
He's gonna go for that.
And if you haven't seen them, now is your time to watch.
Is that towards me? Because I've only ever seen them once.
No, not towards you at all. I'm talking about people who haven't seen them.
Yes, it is towards you. It's wrong with
I've only ever seen it once.
And he doesn't like them.
He hates them.
I'll
understand you.
I'm on the same train as him. I've seen it once, and I don't need to ever see it again.
I wasn't asking you,
I won't
Brian.
say that. I will not say that. I will watch them again, but I just guess I wasn't a fan.
Better trilogy than you saw them at the time, right?
Excuse me, better trilogy than
I saw them. So I saw them in 2012. I remember exactly where I was.
Actually,
excuse me.
2012. Oh wow.
I saw bits and pieces because they always aired on TNT.
Yeah.
Always. I saw them in full in 2012.
You're probably, you're like a kid.
I was 20
out
at the time.
But when it came out, you were like a kid. Probably didn't.
I was around 8, 9, 10.
Probably, yeah. So you wouldn't have been.
I went to the movie. I went to the movie theaters and watched them. Yep, in theater, and I love
Your
them.
parents let
I
you
can
see
imagine
that?
a kid sitting through
it's not even that brutal. It's not.
I mean,
It's not like
scary stuff.
It's not like Braveheart or The Gladiator,
which we'll be talking about later, by the way.
It's PG-13. It's like watching Star Wars.
There's some scary
No.
Excuse me. You didn't even catch what Keith said. It's better than the Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, you're just dumb.
As a trilogy?
No, I agree with that.
Trilogy.
I agree with that.
Oh, let's move on.
Not even
I don't
close.
want to get into this.
Return of the King is just
Not even close.
cinematic.
I can't bring
greatness.
myself to say that, but I will say
It's
I was
not
gonna
even
say
close.
treat yourself to the second best
Thank you.
trilogy
There's
of all
not
time.
a Star Wars film that stands
After
up to
this-
Return of the King.
You are
11
First
for
of all, you
11
have to
for
leave it in the
11.
mic.
11 for 11.
It's all good. It's all opinions, but I will say
Oscars. 11
watch
for
the
11.
second best
We'll
trilogy,
debate that.
trilogy of all
Translate
time
everyone. Me and you versus-
on Netflix. Lord of the Rings trilogy. Okay,
I'm getting
Keith,
red because I'm so frustrated.
Yeah,
right
you're
now.
getting.
what are your
Listen.
Netflix choices, Keith?
Hold on, Jacob.
Let's.
I'm just talking.
Can we stay on topic, please? We
I'm just
have
talking
a lot
trilogy.
to talk about.
1, 2, and 3
Trilogy, yep.
versus.
There's
any-
your first versus episode right
Any
there.
1, 2, 3
Jake
of those
versus
movies.
Keith.
It's not even close.
Lord of the Rings
Hey,
trilogy
I-
versus
I
Star Wars
set a
trilogy.
trial, man. This is
But anyway, it's Okay, so
And we can
Netflix.
see Jake get tomato
only-
face on that video.
I only have a.
Oh my
Listen.
goodness.
There's no Lord of the Rings movie from the original trilogy, Lord of the Rings, that everyone hates. There's lots of Star Wars movies that people hate. That's all I'm saying.
Aragon will whoop Luke Skywalker's ass.
Oh goodness gracious!
Not true at
I'm not
all.
going to compare characters,
Not true at
but
all.
Are you done with yours?
Yeah, can we
Yeah,
can we stay on topic, guys?
I asked Keith what his Netflix choices were.
Gandalf, greater sign, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Aragon's sword stopped the ghost.
Whoa, let's not. Now you're getting carried away. Just. I wasn't gonna say anything until we brought
I know.
Kenobi
I'm
up.
gonna kick you all out in a second.
I can just cancel this stream right now.
Netflix. So many people
No.
watching agree with me. Don't you guys? No, I'm just kidding. I was actually just kidding. I just said that to rile y'all up. That'd be a good versus though. But okay, so Netflix. I just started season 5 of Peaky Blinders. Finally.
Jake didn't even get the bottle to his mouth.
Thank you. I left
Finally.
it off my list because I was hoping someone would say it.
Gosh, because it's one of the best shot shows
Oh, it's
on
incredible.
television.
It's so beautiful.
Technical shows for sure. It's very expensive, which is why it takes. I mean, they recreate full on 1920s
The coal
Birmingham.
mines and all that stuff going
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. I rewatched some stuff in season 4. I miss Tom Hardy. Very
He's not
much.
in it as much. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of a bummer.
But because he's great on that show, man. I loved their final scene that he had with Cillian Murphy. But yeah, and that one kid from what's the TNT show where they're like the Orange County
Animal
crime
King-
family.
Animal
Animal
Kingdom?
something, yeah, whatever.
The
That
Last
kid,
Kingdom?
that guy, or
No,
something
Animal
like that.
Kingdom. Animal Kingdom.
He's on there. He's really good. But yeah, it's about the what are they called? What's their family?
Peaky
called?
Blinders.
They're the
Thomas
Shelby.
Shelby's.
Shelby Limited.
Tommy
yeah.
Shelby.
Thomas Shelby.
What?
Yes.
Some young actress just started showing up on the show.
It's the girl that is Emma, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Your,
Is it Anya
favorite?
Taylor-Joy?
Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yes, I need to watch it.
Yeah.
And
Watch
she
it.
wasn't.
in it?
I had
she
no
wasn't,
idea.
So she wasn't in the last season very much, but it's a setup for what's to come.
Does
No,
she
she wasn't in it
that
at all.
season. She was in
wait.
like 2 or 3 episodes.
She
I mean,
has-
season 4. I'm
Yeah.
talking season 4.
Does
Oh,
she have
sorry.
a British accent on the
No,
on the
she's
show?
American. She actually plays American.
Oh, she does. Yes,
She's
because-
an American character.
Yes, because one
Wow.
of them goes to America for a certain reason and brings
It's a
her
kid
back.
from
Yes,
You know
Michael.
what?
that show.
Michael,
Michael,
yeah.
Animal, whatever. Yeah, he's
Michael Shelby.
Now that I have time, I'm gonna watch.
Dude, I'm
Peaky
telling you
Blinders.
right
6
now. I'm
episodes.
telling you.
Each season's only 6
yeah,
episodes.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Six?
short.
Now
Yeah.
is the time to
So-
start watching.
It's a
Peaky
BBC
Blinders.
show.
They
So, you know, all
released the 5th, or maybe it might have been the 6th season in 3-episode arcs. Essentially, they released 3
Fifth
episodes
season.
at the beginning of the year and 3 episodes at the end of the year.
Is this a show that you and Dylan are always talking about?
Yeah, it's like Sherlock. It's
Well, they
the
just
same.
po-
It's
yeah.
the same network that does Sherlock.
Sherlock,
and
it's
Cumberbatch.
a- yeah.
Where does
BBC
it take place? I'm sure it jumps
It's in
around,
England.
right? Yeah,
It's
that's
in
what I
England.
thought.
It
And
starts in
Cillian
It's
Murphy
Ireland.
is Cillian Murphy American?
No,
No.
It's a
He's
I
Irish?
thought it
He's
was.
Irish?
It's a heavy
Okay.
In
English
real
accent.
life.
in real life he's Irish,
But in the show, is he Irish as well?
no,
They're super
they're
super
English.
heavy English accents.
They're gypsy,
old school. Yeah,
yeah. It starts off season 1. It's post World War One, Birmingham, England.
It's mob stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
And they're called the Peaky Blinders because they wear the hats that have the blades in them, and they cut people up with the blades, and it's awesome.
by order of the Peaky
Yeah,
Blinders.
that's something I gotta watch.
Yeah,
Dude,
definitely
it's
check it out. Yeah.
and it's
it's
awesome.
Legitimately, it's one of my top 2 or 3 shows on TV for me. So I'm glad you watch it too. That's good.
Oh, dude, I love this show.
Great.
I
Yeah.
love the show. Tommy Shelby is awesome.
Oh man, season 1.
He's so good.
Jurassic Park. Dr.
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill.
Oh, Sam Neill, yeah.
Man,
I forgot he was in that
yeah.
so long ago.
he's
yeah.
great.
The
Season 1 and 2, actually.
Dude,
Yeah.
such a good show. So I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Yes.
We can forget about the Lord of the Rings stuff now.
And that's the only Netflix thing I had because I hadn't. It took me a while just to get to that because it came out last year.
So
I think.
many movies on Netflix.
Yeah, it's hard to
There's
choose.
so much on Netflix.
Yeah,
so that's the
Definitely
only
hard to choose.
Netflix thing I got. So.
All right, Brian, Netflix.
Do you want me to leave the one that obvious?
Nope, go
for
ahead.
you?
Say whatever you want.
So Jake, I'll give him the credit for it. Jake introduced me to The Last Kingdom.
Okay.
It started out British, right?
Vikings, bro.
Which one's this? Oh, okay.
Well, you
it's-
guys talked about this before, yeah.
Yeah, it started.
Uhtred, son of Uhtred.
Yeah, that gets a little confusing the first season. It started out BBC, correct? And then
It is.
to
It's another
Netflix.
BBC show.
So,
It's like 4 episodes, 3, 4.
No,
No.
it's full length.
It's-
It's full length.
Really?
Yeah.
I think there's like 8 or 10 each season.
I say 10.
Oh wow.
Fourth season's about to start
Next
April
month.
26th.
How long are they?
An hour.
Episodes, hours.
50 to an hour.
I think you would love it, Keith.
Okay.
It's one of those shows for me that like I was sitting at work like, crap, how much time do I have until I can go home and finish it?
This
Oh,
is Netflix.
wow.
It,
Yeah.
it deals with King Alfred in England and that tide where they transfer over from father to son and the war between Vikings and the English and Winchester and all that type of stuff. And
Add it right
it follows the main character of Uhtred, who's the adopted son of Ragnar Lothbrok, who's the main character of Vikings. And it's just battle royale every
So
episode.
So
It's awesome.
good. Yeah, and
okay.
I have a couple for Netflix. If you're like me and love trashy TV stuff, either The Circle or Love Is Blind. Those, God, if you want to see an ish show just play out, one of those two is just
yeah,
a
Love is Blind.
mess.
Just popped up right here. Yeah.
And then my other one, it's been out for a while, but it's
I'm sorry.
what?
Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey. Or
They're in
Social
it for-
They're in
Right.
it for like maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're the host, but
Yeah.
you see them like 3 times. You don't need to see them.
Get engaged before they even meet in person.
We have a commenter, guys.
That's ridiculous.
We have a commenter, and her name is Gabrielle Torres.
Oh,
I was literally just about to say, does Gabby watch this?
And she said, "Love is blind!" Exclamation point times 10.
yeah.
Literally,
I've seen the trailer
was
for that
just about
show,
to say,
and
does
that
Gabby
is
watch this?
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It
Also wanting to watch the Circle Brazil is what she said. So there's a
Oh,
Braz-
I
there's a
didn't know
Brazil
there was another
version.
one.
So-
Wow.
Yeah.
Circle.
If you love trashy stuff like her, and I do. This is right up your alley. But I was gonna say a show that
Oh my god.
if you hadn't watched it, it's been on Netflix for a while. It's American Crime Story, The People versus O.J. Simpson.
OJ.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
That show, if you haven't
So
watched
great.
it,
So great.
oh my god,
I started it and I need to.
oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah.
it's the best one. They've only done 2. The Gianni Versace one was
Yep.
good, but this
Is this the one with Cuban Gooding Jr.?
Ian Jr., John
David
Travolta,
Schwimmer, right, isn't he,
David
yeah.
Schwimmer.
yeah, it's amazing.
Who plays
Yeah.
Johnny Cochran?
Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah,
Yep, Sterling K. Oh,
What?
yeah.
so
You're
good.
welcome.
He's so good. Keith, it is one of the best shows. I've never rewatched a TV show like that as many times as I have. I've probably watched that show the whole way through at least 5 times.
Wow.
It's that
Wow.
good.
Definitely
Okay.
worth a watch.
It's amazing.
Curious how. Okay.
It's
yeah,
probably-
no. I remember wanting to watch it at the time. I just didn't. I
it's-
started for like a couple
every
minutes in. and
single
just didn't.
actor is perfect.
Oh my goodness.
They show like
Sterling K.
David
Brown.
Schwimmer is Robert Kardashian.
Kardashian, yeah.
They show like the 3 kids for like a second and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Selma Blair is Kris Jenner, and
What?
it's amazing.
That's crazy. Okay.
So if you, I know a lot of people have already seen it, but if you haven't, go watch it.
Who plays Kato? Is it Kato Kaelin? It might be him.
Yeah, he's in
No,
it.
it's
I think it's a random
just somebody.
actor. He's
Yeah.
not in it very much.
Right. He's okay.
So I
Should
think
be.
I'm pretty sure he's not in it for very much.
Really?
Can you see who plays him? No.
I'll
look it up.
Yeah.
Just
But,
curious. I'm just curious.
Yeah, that show, man, that show is
Who plays
probably
Al Cowlings? I want to know who. We should, no, never mind. Never mind.
Just
We'll
watch
talk
it,
about this
Keith.
after.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
You'll.
We're already at 30 minutes, so we do have.
I know
to,
we have a bunch. We only got.
We
through
have a lot to
Netflix.
talk about.
Okay, go.
Okay, so
my movie was Into the Spider-Verse. If you haven't seen it.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely check that out.
So yeah. Okay, go ahead.
A show I was gonna recommend is kind of a documentary, and I like to watch those every now and then. This one is unpopular, a little controversial, definitely not for everyone. It's Inside the Killer Mind, Aaron Hernandez.
Watch that.
It's hard, man.
So I'm a football fan, and I miss football, but I followed Aaron Hernandez when he was playing ball, and this documentary just kind of gives a little more context into what Aaron Hernandez was going through. It takes you from his childhood to college days to the NFL,
Florida,
and kind of goes into very, very deep personal stuff with him. You know, with his father, his sexuality, and just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And you know, it doesn't attempt to justify what he did, but it helps make you understand. It makes you realize that the human being, us, we are so complex. You know, as individuals, as you know, living. So I definitely recommend that. It's disturbing.
His brain
but
scans.
his brain
I
scans,
heard about
yes,
that,
yes.
It's insane.
I heard that there was some was phone calls with his mom or something.
Yes.
I've heard some
a
of that.
lot
Yeah,
of
it's-
phone
ugh.
calls, recorded phone calls with his mom.
Oh
yeah.
my god, man!
It's wild.
He played with Tim Tebow at Florida.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Oh, that Gator squad, man.
Oh, they were-
Florida
yeah.
Gators. Yeah. It's
Percy Harvin.
Yeah.
See, that's all right. From Virginia Beach?
It's 3 episodes, so not very long. Hour long. 4?
I think it's
I
4.
think it was 3.
Was
Oh,
it?
3 or 4. One of the two. But it's definitely worth a watch. And the movie I was going to recommend is something that has a little bit of everything. It's The Ballot of Buster Scruggs. People don't
Oh my
really
God.
know what this movie is. And honestly, after seeing it, I don't really know what it is. But it's these short stories directed by Joel and Ethan Coen,
Yeah.
the Coen brothers. They do a lot of fantastic work. But these stories range out from just like a comedy western to like a little bit of horror, you know, and it just has a whole lot of stuff. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's something different, something you normally wouldn't expect as far as just from the Coen brothers, but then you might. It's a lot of things.
So it was supposed to be a series, a mini series.
Yes.
And it went through a lot of turbulence in its production stage,
Like development.
and they ultimately just said, "Let's make it a movie." So they essentially put all the stories together.
Yes.
All the
Coen
6
brothers.
stories together, and it stars Tim Blake Nelson.
Tim
Of
Blake
course.
Nelson.
Yeah, and I think obviously a whole bunch of actors are in there. I think like Bruce Dern's in there, and a lot of other people.
Franco's
So-
in it.
James Franco.
James
Yeah, there's a
Franco.
lot of actors, but it's I think it follows Tim Blake Nelson. Correct?
Liam Neeson.
He's
Yeah.
the Buster Scruggs.
Yes, yeah. So that's essentially what the plan was. So
Yeah.
it got cut down from 6-hour series to like a 2. It's a long movie, like a 2.5 hour movie.
220, yeah.
Yeah.
2.5, yeah.
So.
So, yeah, check it out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, your Netflix picks.
All right, so for movies, I'm just gonna run through. I have 4 picks. I did Moon for Duncan Jones with Sam Rockwell.
Yes.
Still need to watch that.
Incredible sci-fi film. This movie just like blows your mind.
Yep.
If you're a fan of Parasite, go watch Snowpiercer.
Yes.
Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah.
His first English film. Chris Evans.
Jamie
William
Bell.
Hurt.
Yeah.
Jamie Bell's in there. Great cast. Based on a book.
Tilda
And a
Swinton.
TV series is coming out. Tilda Swinton. TV series is coming out this year. Lawless with Shia LaBeouf and Tom
Yes.
Hardy.
That's a
and
great
Jessica
movie.
Chastain about the
that's right.
Prohibition.
Yep.
Jason Clark.
I never saw that.
Jason Clark. Great
Ooh, it's on
film.
Netflix.
Guy
I didn't know
Pearce.
that. Okay.
And then I have a comedy, one of the best R-rated comedies that I've ever seen. It's Jason Sudeikis and Alison Brie. It's called Sleeping with Other People, and they're essentially both sex addicts. And it's incredibly funny, and the
cast right
chemistry's
there.
great.
I like that,
Really, really funny. And then for the series, Brian mentioned Last Kingdom. I always have to mention Bodyguard. It stars Richard Madden. He's a ex-war vet. He comes back and he's a bodyguard for like an English government agent, and is dealing with trauma and all that type of stuff. Incredible series, 6 episodes, very short. And then I just finished Altered Carbon season 2. If you've never seen Altered Carbon, it's very complex storytelling that's really, really cool.
Anthony Mackie.
Falcon.
Anthony Mackie
Yeah.
in season 2, Joel Kinnaman in season 1, and it deals with a futuristic timeline.
It's like Blade Runner.
Where similar, where essentially like our minds have been put inside what's called, I forget the name of it, a chip that's in the back of your head, and you can transfer from body to body, but they call them sleeves. And so essentially, like, this may be my main sleeve, but if this sleeve died, you can grab my conscious and I can go into Keith's sleeve.
Wow.
And so it's very
what
complicated.
Westworld's trying to do.
Very, very cool and interesting. It's very sci-fi, very action-oriented, but again, complex, and so you really have to pay attention to the details because the storytelling is like very, very off the charts. And Simone Missick is in season 2.
I love her.
Great. It's a really cool series. Really cool series. So.
Okay, well, if you're not going to say it, I left one off thinking you were going to say it, but Sex Education.
Yeah, I was going to say
Is that good?
It's incredible.
So good.
It's incredible.
Awesome. I need to check that out. Okay, so